Hey ghouls, welcome back to the movie Crypt. It's time for the hopping vampire episode because we need to talk about Chinese hopping vampire movies. For real. Like, seriously, I'm obsessed. And you're going to be obsessed too. So I recently listened to an episode of the Monster Talk podcast, and it really made me want to dig deeper into the genre.
The typical explanation of the Jiangshi is that it is the pot soul, this kind of lower soul that gets trapped in the corpse and cannot leave, and because of that, it's reanimating the corpse.
Seriously, obsessed. There is way more to these monsters than I knew, and it's all very fascinating.
The official sort of explanation suggests that the people who are the corpse drivers were Taoist priests, and Taoist priests are skilled in thunder magic. Now, thunder magic is basically all kinds of magic that are, that are used to communicate with the dead, control weather. And one of the things is that you can control the corpses. So by the use of amulets and talismans, you've seen those in the movies, those yellow papers with cryptic, red messages. They are, it's possible for them to reanimate that person and make them walk or jump.
So after I listened to Monster Talk, I added a bunch of Jiangshi movies to my to-watch pile, and I wanted to share them with you so that we can be obsessed together in a not creepy way. Now, caveat, I do not speak Chinese, so I am probably butchering the name of this creature. Jiangshi. Yeah. Anyway, I'll do my best. Okay. So what am I watching that I want to share with you? The first is Rigor Mortis from 2013. This is a film about a washed up action star who moves into a rundown apartment complex because he's going to kill himself. But instead he meets a vampire hunter. Twin lady ghosts. And then there's a black magic dude who lives in the basement. Who turns the old guy who accidentally dies on the stairs into a Jiangshi hopping corpse monster. So, usual suspects in your new apartment complex. Now, these monsters are not funny. Like, seriously. Ghouls. This movie absolutely blew me away. Chef's kiss. Highly recommend. Okay, next on my list is Vampire Hunters 2003, which is also released as Era of the Vampires. This is about 4 friends who are vampire hunters who end up at a creepy, abandoned housing complex that has a serious vampire problem. I mean, look at these vampires. That's a face only a mother could love. Not an Edward in sight. Edward score, 0. Now, the wealthy family that owns this complex made their fortune by preserving dead bodies in wax because they last almost forever. Which absolutely 100% will not come back to haunt them at the end of the movie or ever again. I mean, what could go wrong? It's fine. Anyway, when a young bride comes to marry their son, vampires eat everybody. Except for the bride and the dad. Now, these monsters are a little bit more Western because they do in fact suck the blood out of people, but they don't actually bite you, so it's not like a Dracula. They suck it out through the air. I'm not explaining it right. You just need to watch. Now, the subplot is that the bride's brother is a thief, and of course he wants to steal the old guy's gold. So what does he do? He hires a necromancer to bring all the preserved bodies in his complex back to life as Jiangshi jumping corpses to distract the old guy so that they could get in and steal the gold. And that totally goes exactly according to plan. Sucks for them, but it's awesome for us because it's nothing but kung fu, monster fighting, magic. Next up is Mr. Vampire from 1985. This movie is an absolutely glorious vampire comedy. So glorious, it spawned sequels. So many sequels, I've lost count. Now, this film is about a Taoist priest and his two incompetent students.
It's me. I'm just playing with you, you idiot.
You bastard!
Don't be scared. Hey, what are you afraid of? It's just me.
Who are hired to rebury a local rich grandpa. Unfortunately, that grandpa happens to be a vampire. And he rises at night and eats his own family. Why does he eat his family? Who can say? More delicious? Maybe. Arguments at Thanksgiving? Maybe. Anyway, our priests have to hunt down and contain Grandpa Vampire. This movie has it all. It's got kung fu action. It's got silliness. It's got jokes. It's got vampire grandpas. Edward score, 0. And it's got Jiangshi stiff hopping corpses. All right, if you haven't seen it, it's an absolute classic and you really need to. Now, this is your Hopping Vampire movie starter kit, these 3 movies. That's it for our Hopping Vampires today. We may be back with a second episode. Let me know what your favorite Hopping Vampire movie is down in the comments. Talk to me. I love it. And I will see you next time. You want to know what horror writers do on the weekends? This is what we do. We read books and we watch horror movies. Like, seriously, like, this is my whole life.